morning. The need for sustainable practices in fashion is increasingly viewed in India as an overarching imperative, which requires interconnections between people, processes, and the environment, necessitating connections, therefore, between the academia and industry. I am going to take the academic route because I am from National Institute of Fashion Technology, New Delhi, which has 15 campuses. Which has 15 campuses across India. Yes, sustainability is a very broad word, and today I'm going to contextualize the word sustainability in terms of the next generation of artisans who work in the craft sector and their economic sustenance. The use of to develop high-quality products using different kinds of traditional textiles and traditional processes. And the third aspect that I will be touching upon is the environment-friendly processes with minimum wastage and use of natural dyes. I'm going to start a little bit with the Craft Cluster initiative that NIFT has as an academic institute. It is a 2-week process where it's a period where the students go to different craft clusters between their second year and third year. And these are remote areas where they go and they live in these clusters, and they, while the theoretical inputs are given earlier, this gives them a first-hand experiential learning. It develops awareness about the challenges that the craftspeople face, and it develops sensitization to the crafts sector. As a result of which we believe that a lot of our graduates, once they become entrepreneurs, and several of them eventually become entrepreneurs, a lot of them slowly get involved in sustainable practices in the craft sector, so I will be presenting a couple of case studies on that. The India Cluster Observatory Report 2011 estimates around 565 handloom and 3,094 handicraft clusters, where an estimated 200 million people are employed. The handloom and handicraft sectors are regarded as the core of India's cultural identity and national identity, and are an important resource for designers. This is attributed to their richness and diversity, and fashion designers and product designers draw on the knowledge of locally available materials and traditional skills embedded in the collective memory of craft communities. So I'm going to start with the first one, which is a case study of a label called Raw Mango by a graduate of NIFT Delhi by the name of Sanjay Garg. The design intervention was done in the city of Chanderi, which is a town in Madhya Pradesh where the eponymous Chanderi fabric is woven. Once patronized by the local royal family, the Katiyar family, which used to weave this fabric, is in a very, very exceptionally high cotton, has now turned to cutting grass and carrying firewood. There are now 4,000 weavers in different households in Chanderi, in Ashoknagar, and the problems that they face are uncertain work supply, low remuneration rates, mediocre fabric quality, and machine-made cheaper imitations. Raw Mango experimented with the yarn and the weaves and for better drapability and higher fabric strength. The diaphanous quality of the Chanderi fabric is maintained, and there are, interestingly, while India is largely known for value addition in terms of embroidery, what is significant is that Raw Mango does not use any additional surface embellishment on the fabric. It is the beauty of the fabric itself which is enhanced. And it is strong enough not only to be draped as saris and stoles, but it can also be turned into cut and sewn garments. What is also radical, that which raw mango has achieved, is that previously the colors were very austere. They were off-white and beige and grey, maroon, and now they are absolutely vibrant colors in hot pinks and lime greens and bright yellows. And this, in a way, has completely changed the way Chambeli is perceived and seen. So these are some of the colors, as you can see, are very different. I'm sorry, the colors are a little different here. What is also significant is the balance of business with sustainable and ethical considerations. Around 300 weavers work exclusively for Sanjay Garg, and this has had a domino effect with weavers who are turning into entrepreneurs themselves, and they now have the money to buy their own looms. Interestingly, their children are seeking admission at local design institutes, and this has led to continuance of the craft, and in fact is reversing the exodus of weavers to other professions in the city. This is a problem that we have been facing, that until and unless there is enough socioeconomic sustenance, the next generation of artisans, their children and their grandchildren, because it's an oral tradition which is passed on from grandfather to father to son, until and unless it's sustainable, the children do not want to continue. And that is a very successful initiative that Raw Mango has achieved, because the craft is continuing and increasingly he's employing more and more weavers. The next one is a label called Pero by Aneet Arora, and that's Aneet herself. The commitment of the label is to craftsmanship and the emotional connect between the wearer and the clothes. Pero uses the same craftsmen each season, and they are all working in small villages. Prior work experience is not mandatory. Women are taught specialized skills in the garmenting process, so there's ongoing work throughout the year. Here I perhaps should mention that in India, the craftspeople are involved with crafts only in certain seasons. The moment monsoon starts, they will leave the craft and go away because they are also involved with agriculture. So for that period of time, there's a lull in the craft sector. And with increased participation, therefore, more and more families are being drawn into the fold. Pero is working in different villages in West Bengal, she started with 3 weavers, which has grown to 150 weavers. And to maintain the delicate weave quality of khadi and jamdani, which are 2 different kinds of fabrics, she makes only limited yardage of 5 meters of plain weave and 3 meters of checks. And so it is really not about quantity, it is about the quality. And the selvage is very interestingly color-coded each year, and even the selvage is not wasted when the garments are done. So fabric wastage is either completely eliminated or minimized. Absolutely. Okay, this is a picture of the weavers on the looms. They use pit looms, hand loom, and single shuttle, double shuttle, and Tara looms, which is a semi-mechanized loom. There's a warping process. Yeah. And this is her participation at the Wings India Fashion Week in Delhi. So the use of natural dyes and the focus is on research and preservation of old work handcrafting processes with exquisite hand stitching. Now this is a very interesting thing that is a few designers are beginning to do. Even though they have all the resources at their disposal and they can definitely use top of the line equipment, machinery, they are trying to revive very old completely hand-stitched garments as a technique. So it's very labor-intensive, and they have managed to position the product in a way that it it generates, it can be priced accordingly, and so it affects the remuneration of the craftspeople. And this is a time-consuming process and finds an emotional resonance with discerning customers both in India and abroad. This is the next designer, Nitin Bal Chauhan, who works now in Himachal Pradesh. And this is a place called Chamba, which is famous for a particular kind of weaving called patu weaving, and making small, simple footwear using local leather called Chamba chappal, and a particular kind of embroidery which is also very interesting, where the front and the back of the embroidery is identical. It's called Chamba rumal. These villages are in the remote hilly terrain of Chamba, and there's no electricity, so which means that the work can be done as long as there's natural sunlight. There is weaving done with local wool, where women are spinners and men are the weavers. However, what is interesting is that there is now the women are also becoming weavers, and the fabric acts as signifier to indicate the origin of the weaving methods. These garments were shown at Aesthetica. This is the way they are changing the products. The base of the footwear, the one on the right was the original, the one on the left is the one which is new, and it's a lot more comfortable. And the colors have been changed. The first one into dark colors, and dark colors are not worn in India traditionally, but these have found a new set of customers. And the last thing is khadi denim, which is a new initiative which is made in India, where Arvind Mills, which is amongst India's largest producer of denim, which produces about 1 billion meters annually, they are combining khadi, which is a cotton fabric, with denim. This fabric is being used by Levi's India, and it uses natural dyes and organic cotton. And this fabric is also used by the designer Rajesh Pratap Singh. This is khadi cotton. And by Cell Design 1111, where, as you can see, the entire process is hand done, hand dyed, natural indigo, and they are sold in the domestic retail market and abroad, in Tokyo, in Paris. Yeah, thank you.